It is the Hardball Gets AFL show, the 2-minute warning out of round 10. My name's Chris Robinson, in for Nick Rinn, joined as always by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. How are we going, guys?
Good morning, Robbo. It's very nice to have you here
Thanks for having me.
Instead of Nicholas, who normally bumbles and fumbles his way through the
Well, I
introduction.
wasn't listening. I just made the assumption it was going to be 2 or 3 goes.
No, he nailed it.
Robbo writes it down, I think, and that's what it works. Because
Well,
he
he does
knows
his
he has actually direction he wants rather than
I
Nick.
do have the words 2-minute warning written down here. I'm pretty sure last time I filled in for Nick, I said 2-minute morning. And, then just rolled with it. So
That's okay.
I was happy to get that out this time.
Well, for the last couple of years, it has been morning in here with the WA sides being shit.
Correct. Not anymore.
No, they're fun.
They're back.
The double winning weekend.
So good timing.
Gee, not very often. When was the last time both clubs won?
I don't know. I
First
thought
time this year.
that last night. I was
Well,
going
it
to say
can't have
Robbo
been
would
last
know.
year.
Definitely first time this year. Probably first time in a couple of years. Yeah, maybe 3.
Wow.
It's been a minute.
So good timing to get Robbo because we might never see him again.
Oh, no, mate. So I didn't know he was into. Who's it? Louis Theron? Is that his name?
Louis Theroux?
Yeah, that bloke who goes into like drug cartels and
Yep.
like full blown documentary mode.
Yep.
And I just sit there going, he's done like Vegas and stuff, like gambling.
He gets right into the
drugs.
dirt,
He's done
into the mud.
All right into it.
Yeah.
And Robbo's come and he said, guys, can I just Nick take a seat? Can I just do one more podcast in case it is my last podcast? So we're going to do a greatest hits of Robbo at the end.
Pretty short.
A bit of a
pretty short
montage.
tape, yeah.
A bit like Tom Cole's 100th video.
Yeah.
They reckon that...
A lot of tackles.
Well, they also reckon it's never been seen before. They opened the highlights video with him high-fiving kids in the crowd. They're like, shit, they're digging deep here.
That's the best they've got.
Off the back of Harley Reid, where they're like, shit, Harley could get a 100 video done now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Robbo, mate, you're going behind the scenes. It's going to be dangerous.
So I'm going to Trinidad and Tobago in the West Indies is where I'm going,
Right.
in the
All
Caribbean.
Okay, what for? What cartel's over there?
Just doing some work for the cartel. It's a category 2, like on the safe traveller. So I think
What's it go to? 3?
I was going to say, what's the
3 and
worst?
4 you can't go
so
to.
okay, right.
So one
is
like
everywhere,
here.
and then 2 is kind of like, just be a little bit careful.
Be a little bit careful.
That's okay.
Right, you take your cop at 2.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's
I'm going
nice.
for a few days because obviously the T20 World Cup is on.
Now, can
Australia
I
are
ask
training
some
over
questions?
there. Yes, you can.
You paying for this trip?
It's being paid for courtesy of our friends at Prime Video.
Right, so it's a junket.
Shout out to Prime Video, which is
they
the
gonna
only
give us-
place you can watch the World Cup.
junket.
Are they going to
It's
give
a
us free
junket.
access?
That's correct.
Right before I thank them, they're going to give
Yeah,
us.
am I getting in a membership?
see what I can do.
See if you
So
can hook
I'll
us up.
save my thank yous to next week.
So what's the go here? Like you're going to go, I know I've done some junkets, but none at the scale of this. So you're going over to the Caribbean.
Correct.
You rock up and they're putting you up in a nice hotel. Do they pay for your food, your drinks, your travel between the spots?
I'd suggest most of that will be looked after, yes.
Wow.
Really?
Please, geez, he's hit the jackpot here.
So will you be as a little like, righto, the bus is leaving at 10:15, everyone needs to be here by 10, or is it a little bit like, you're here, training's there, find a
luck.
way?
Yeah.
Is it like school or is it like a
I
bender?
don't know.
Your choice.
I don't know, Zave. I'll let you know when I get over there.
I think what's going to happen is he's going to rock up. He'll get into his room. It'll be a 5-star hotel. There's going to be a little note in the thing saying drinks down by the pool in an hour. Robbo rocked down there in his little board shorts.
No, Dickies.
Look, he's wearing the Dickies.
Sluggos.
Just
He got the
I-
sluggos
I
out.
love it. It's power, mate.
Definitely.
Go
Yeah,
straight
sluggos.
in with the power, mate.
I have no such power.
Yeah, the sluggos in, and
Turns
away
up.
you go.
He'll be
You
drinking
and
a little,
Barrett's.
one of those little cocktails with a banana and a little orange slice in there within 5 minutes. Mark Beretta is the only other one we know that is going, who's a massive dog.
Yeah, a massive dog.
The Sunrise Sportsman. This is huge.
Yeah.
Big dogs only.
Yeah.
Carl
Congratulations.
Stefanovic's another.
Stefanovic could be going,
Yep.
you reckon?
So that's how big this is.
I've heard that. I heard Eddie might be making
Eddie's
a trip.
making a trip as well.
And our man Robbo.
Shervo's
Yeah,
there.
just all the big names, clearly.
Do you know what I love?
Clearly.
In all his time working for the West Australian, do you reckon Nick Rinn ever got on a junket like this?
Oh,
No,
hang
he did
on,
once.
hang on,
He
hang
did-
on.
I remember the
Hang
story.
on.
He did a car
Hang
review in
on.
Hong Kong once. I think it was
Hang
Hong
on.
Kong. He went to Hong Kong for a car review.
What does he know about cars?
Nothing, and that's the thing.
Or
They
Hong
said-
Kong.
No, the car guide or something. And I might be just really making this up, so sorry.
No, you're definitely not making
I'm on
this
the
up.
money, aren't I?
If there's a trip, Nick Reed will find a way.
No, the car guide said something like, we need someone to go, and our usual John Smith can't.
Oh, no, I remember
And Nick's
this.
like, fuck, I'll go.
I'll go. I
Before
can
you
write
know it,
about talk or whatever.
He has to write about the car.
so much talk.
Safety features, 6.5 out of 10.
I love the safety features. Good airbag spacing.
So, yeah, no, Nick definitely has had a junket. But
Yeah.
last one on that, in all
Yeah,
seriousness.
hit me.
So it's obviously to get access to the players and whatnot.
Yes.
You enjoy your cricket.
Yes.
Will you be... So if I'm seeing Australian cricketers, I'd get a bit nervous because I'm in awe of what they do.
Sure.
Like Glenn Maxwell, those sort of guys. Will you be cool, calm and collected, or do you sort of idolise some of those cricketers still?
No, I'll be pretty right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't reckon, like speaking from personal experience, I don't reckon there's anyone that I'm overawed by now.
The
with
only-
athletes.
Oh, come on, mate.
I don't. You just don't.
You sleep at JL's place. Of course
You
you're
have
not
lost
nervous.
it.
If I see Brian Lara over there, maybe just.
Oh,
a
yeah,
little bit. Brian Lara's a little
Well,
bit
Brian
different.
Lara was
It's
roaming
different.
with Triple M. So when they were overcalling, that was our great. Should have just gone in.
So
and
good.
grabbed a
That's
bit of-
pretty cool.
Ricky Ponting's mine. I'd be a bit sketchy.
Oh,
out
no,
Ricky.
see, yeah, punter, like I've worked with him a couple of times, and I will tell you, when you're in the room with him, there's an aura.
There's a
like you do,
presence. Yeah,
you
yeah.
feel something in there. Like it's similar with Carey. Like I've worked with him a couple of times
Yeah,
on the
Duck.
footy, and he's just larger
Different.
than life.
Yeah,
He's
different,
got
isn't
this different. Yeah, there's something about those.
I grew up
those
in
guys.
a town of about 200, and no word of a lie, they used to call me the Ricky Ponting of Lake Tyers Beach.
Oh, piss off. Well, can I ask you some questions, Ricky Ponting of what was it Tyers Beach?
Lake Tyers Beach.
Lake Tyers Beach. How are you feeling today?
No, goodbye.
No ice anywhere?
No, why?
Didn't you go in for the old?
No, I had something else on.
Oh, you told us you were going for the snip.
I know. Well, I didn't want anyone to go, oh, he's a pain in the ass because he's got to move it. So I just said, I got the snip, and I forgot to clarify I didn't have the snip. Mate, I want 3 kids. No way am I,
that's what I
ending
thought.
it from my end.
My first question was going to be, what did M concede
Yeah.
to get you to have the snip? Because I know you want 3 and she's not really that keen.
Not really that keen.
She's 0.
A 0.
She's a 0. And I thought if she's somehow got him to snip him, there must be something coming back
No,
the other way.
no, nothing. So I just, mate, it's last man standing.
Okay.
I'm refusing to budge.
Oh.
Sorry.
Just run the gauntlet.
Not my issue. No, it is. But I don't know. I'm pretty keen on 3 kids. And I'm getting emotional thinking about it now.
Oh, my God.
I've got a dicky right eye. If it does leak at some stage, I've got my little wiping napkin thing that I've got a
Oh,
sore
have you
right
got something
eye.
gross going on?
Nah, it happened, I reckon. I've been in the garden.
Yeah, okay.
We're doing gardening out the front. I reckon I got dirt in it and then just probably didn't shower.
Okay. Don't touch me.
No, well, you were in yesterday, and I
was in
wiped
yesterday.
my eye all over your shit yesterday.
Oh,
so,
good. Great.
I mean, mate,
Got the
48
Rudy
hours.
Gobert just pasting it all over the.
That's still one of the great bits of vision.
Amazing. Are we good? I've had
Yeah.
I've had a good clean week. Nothing for me. Fantastic. Move
Good
on.
clean week.
I've had a great week. I've had a very good week. Kit Kats everywhere.
Oh no, I'm not giving you any Kit Kats.
Oh, come
No,
on.
you get a Kit Kat for Yowie. I'll give
Thank
you
you.
that.
Give me for that
I'll
one.
give you that.
Yeah.
1.4 million.
All right. Well, should we start off with Adelaide and we can talk about it? Should we do that?
Oh, yeah, sure. Jesus, all business.
Do you want to go straight off the top, Ryan? Obviously, massive story that you broke yesterday.
Well, who's got Adelaide?
I do, but
Robbo's
I'm
sold
happy to
that.
throw it
That's
to you.
very Nick,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like
Yeah.
he just.
So the vibe
he's
in the
got
room around Adelaide,
the
Ryan,
vibe
you
is
want to take
the
it?
vibe is just Elliot. Yo, talk about
Campbell.
it. Go.
Yeah. So as I explained in great detail on Triple M yesterday with Xavier Ellis here, who asked very good
show.
leading questions. So what's happened here is that obviously Yo's out of contract at the end of the year. There's a number of clubs have shown a bit of interest. Adelaide showed a lot of interest. So the last couple of years they've been inquiring about Yo.
Sure.
And now they've stepped it up by actually saying, okay, no, we're really serious. Here's what we're going to offer. So the way they're going to structure their deal, their offer, is it's a 3-year contract and it's going to be heavily front-loaded, which teams often do now. It's just a way of working their salary cap. So
Well, that's why, for example, Jack Martin was the highest paid player in the
Correct,
competition.
yeah.
Ben Mackay maybe this year's the highest paid.
if teams have space in their salary cap, they tend to do this because it means that they can then create space at the back end. So they can go and add more players. So it's like, hey, we've got this money now. Let's make sure we use all of it.
Yeah.
And then we'll have some spare in the back end because instead of paying, giant amounts every year, you space it out. Anyway, long story. So the first year could be 1.3, 1.4 in that space. Then it obviously goes down from there. The whole deal would be
Well,
around
1.4
2.6,
million.
2.7 million over the course of the 3 years, which is a significant amount of money.
So I thought Adelaide should have gone and got him last year.
You've been harping on about this for a long time, which made me laugh a little bit when I got...
No, because people were like, mate, did you know anything for a year and a half? I was
Yeah.
like, no. The obvious fit was
Yeah.
they're slow in the midfield, Adelaide.
Yep.
Stumpy Laird, I think, now has got to go back to defence. You can't have Jordan Dawson when the game's under the pump. You need him back in defence to control the game. And then, of course, you put Elliot Yo in there and you don't lose anything. And now I feel like they've missed the opportunity. The arse has fallen out of Adelaide a little bit. What are they sitting? 14th or something?
They've been okay.
No, they've been
without-
okay, but it's going to be
yeah.
hard to make the finals from where they
It
are.
is, yeah.
So all of a
Yep.
sudden, now you're loading up to get top-end talent in and a lot of money, but you're not actually a top 8 side.
So
They could bounce pretty well though if they get a good pick this year.
Can we extend Josh? Because I think we've got a bit more to do on this.
Yeah.
So just on Yo, there's no guarantee he gets there, obviously. I still think if you bet your life on it, he'd be at West Coast. But if you ask me...
Would you say 60-40?
Yeah, 6 weeks ago, if you'd said, is Yo going to be at West Coast next year, I'd say, yeah, absolutely.
But I'm surprised
now I'm not so sure.
I'm surprised more questions hadn't been asked. Dual best and fairest winner, dual All-Australian, premiership player, round 10.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was like, what? Yoey?
Well, to be fair, I think there was a lot of people who were checking in and the message kept being, no, it'll get done. Well, it's in the works. It'll get done. The West Coast offer is significantly less money.
Yeah, sure.
It's significant.
Which is a safety mechanism too.
And they've also got a lot of stuff built in to say, if you play this many games, you get this. If you're all Australian, if you're BNF, blah, 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 you get, little bonuses along the way. And it's also only 2 years. So the Crows thing comes with a third year. And adding the last point, not the only team that's interested. There are a couple of Victorian teams who are super interested as well. It's just that Adelaide have been the most aggressive so far.
I would say there's only 5 clubs that suit Elliot Yeo.
Yeah.
If you're not going to win a flag in 2 years, I don't think there's any point chasing Yoey. 0 point.
Yeah, great. Turns 31 this year.
Which I thought Adelaide, if they got Yoey last year.
Do we want to quickly cover it from West Coast perspective? Like, should they be fighting to keep him? Do you think?
Well, would it be a back end first rounder?
I would say, based on his age, even though he has that massive first year, I'd still think their best hope would be an end of first.
Yeah, which now they can be flexible where that first round pick lands.
Could be pick 40.
No, but sorry, in terms it used to just be follows your last pick.
Well, no, that's a first round pick, so that would be, say, West Coast, if they say pick 4, they would get pick 4 and 5, but end of first round means end of first round.
Yes, I think it's changed. Because for example, when Franklin left, the best player in the competition, there was no way of moving the first round pick.
Right.
It was like stiff shit, you won the flag, you're getting picked.
Too bad.
17 or 18
Too bad, too
whatever.
sad. Yeah.
Strong start, Rhinoceros.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Actually, a few emojis popped up in my group chat yesterday. And just, you can do a thumbs up or whatever.
Yeah.
Just the rhino just pops in.
I love that.
Things. Yeah, anyway.
I don't mind that.
All right, who's next?
Well, come over to me. Come to Papa. I feel like we rag on Richmond a lot for reason. Got absolutely walloped on the weekend.
Yes.
My goodness.
Our comments, we should do a little thorough detox through the comments of when we did say that they're West Coast in 2 years. And Richmond supporters absolutely walloped us.
I don't have in the, what have we done, 5 years of this? Have we ever been more right on anything?
No.
They're even doing the West Coast impersonation where their injury list is going astronomical.
So if we'd gone back 2.5 years ago on West Coast and put up players like McGovern, Barras, like trade assets, what would you get? Now, really quickly, I think it's 10 names here.
Sure.
I just want you to tell me what round pick you would get. I think these are probably about all you can trade.
Okay.
On the Richmond football list.
All right,
okay.
go.
Vloston.
Floston.
Yep, 30-year-old.
I would say, late first. I like
30?
Floston. Late first, early second. Yep.
Robbo, similar?
Yep.
Neon Leon, the Candlestick Baker.
First round. Has to be a first rounder.
Yep.
This is a tough one because there's a big contract in it. Tim Taranto, 26-year-old.
Nah, it's a first round pick.
Yeah, that's
they'd
fair.
expect
Still
2.
first.
Yep. They'd expect 2. They're not getting 2.
Jaden Short, 28. Best and fairest winner.
I think you can get a first for him.
first,
A
yeah.
late first. Yeah.
Okay, Daniel Rioli, 27-year-old. Talk with the Gold Coast and, of course, Dimmer Hardwick. And this is what I'm thinking that Dimmer might grab a couple.
Yeah, late
He's-
first for sure.
first.
It's a bit of value here.
Yeah,
It's one of their best assets.
Tom Lynch, 31-year-old.
Nah. Late.
No, nothing.
Nothing. He's in the Jager, Tom Mitchell leaving Hawthorn category.
Okay. This is the one I think Hawthorn should swoop on with whatever they can.
Sorry,
in the war
I should
chest.
say Tom Lynch, if he's going to Melbourne.
Yeah, of course.
Melbourne
Still
might
offers
give up.
immense value.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's more he's going to still be on a good contract. Noah Bolter. He's the one Hawthorn I think should throw a war chest at. He's 24.
Yeah, I reckon he might take a couple of firsts.
Yeah, I think he can be something,
I think he's a
definitely.
really solid
Yeah.
asset. I like Bolter. He's only going to get better.
24. I just think that's the Hawthorn one. Bolton. Untradeable, I would say.
Multiple
Yeah, I think
firsts.
they'd be
Like if we've talked about this, if Fremantle came and said, "Here's our 3 firsts," would Richmond do it? And we still think they say no, right?
Yeah, I think so. Last 2 really quickly. Broad, who's 31. I think he's played a reasonable player.
No,
third, I think.
no, that's a free agent draft pickup. Whatever.
The White Whale, Dusty Martin.
Depends on the club. I mean, if you're doing it for marketability and you're right there, like if it was
What about
Gold
Gold
Coast, yeah, I think they would
Just
give
depends
up.
on him.
They would give
Just
up
depends
a
on what he
first
wants
rounder,
to do.
wouldn't they?
And Jacob Hopper, I thought, was untradeable with that length of contract.
Yeah.
But there's some value there.
Look, I think of that
there's
list you've read out, the only 2 that I'd say, we're not trading is Bolter and Bolton.
Yeah. So I think they've got to
Keep all the bolts.
They've got to cop one.
Keep the Bunnings.
Yep.
I will go
Strong start, X.
Fremantle. Very strong start. Kicking aside, my God, have they been awful with their kicking?
Gosh, that's been tough to watch.
What is going on? Jeremy Sharp, been a very good pickup. Like,
He has, but he adds to the kicking problems.
He does.
Yeah.
He's not the best kick in the team. He's not the best kick in the AFL, but he runs all day.
He's good.
He's
that gather around game, we sat on the wing, sort of the Pepsi Club, just before Redo spewed in it.
The infamous Pepsi Club.
And he just endless, up and back, up and back.
Yeah, he's
impressive.
He just works his tail off. He's a winger. He's a prototypical winger.
Yeah.
Which is something they've been searching for a long time. It's made me think.
They haven't been searching for it too long. They just kept giving them
I
away.
was going to say they kept losing.
Akers, Hill,
Langdon,
Henry.
Based on
so
what
one position they haven't searched for.
Just based on what you've seen just this year.
Yeah.
And I didn't have time to compare the numbers, but I'd say that'd be relatively similar. Would you rather have Sharp or Akers as your wingman?
Akers.
Still taking
Think about
Akers.
Akers has the body of work, yeah.
But it's not miles off, is it?
If he continues like this for the season, then I say it's not miles off.
It's not a big
Akers
gap.
was really good in the finals.
He was
in
really
that
good in the
charge
finals.
home for Carlton last year.
I think this is when they were losing all those guys. It was like, oh no, you can find guys to fill those roles.
Yeah.
Like I don't think losing Blake Akers now, if you've got Jeremy Sharp, it gives you 75% of Blake Akers, maybe even 80% of it.
Yeah, but you can't argue they wouldn't be a better team.
He's
if
had
Akers was still
18
there.
running bounces for the year, which is in the top 10. Do you want to
Yeah.
guess who's number one for running bounces?
Number one.
Adam Sard.
I'm going to go the
No.
bloke who took 3 on the weekend.
Harley. He's up there. He's
Is
in like
he?
the
Yeah.
top 7 or 6 or 7.
Sard's missed time, hasn't he?
Yeah, he normally
Yeah,
is the guy.
okay.
Is there a
Blakey?
He's one of our faves.
Oh, the Liz?
Blakey?
He's one of your faves. No, it's not Blakey.
My favourite.
Blakey's got to be top
You're not miles
5 or
off,
6,
though.
doesn't he?
I think he's 3rd or 4th, but
One
you're
of
not
my
miles
favourites.
off.
Chad Warner?
Correct.
Oh,
okay.
Chad.
The lad.
And he's getting people chasing him. He's not out in the wing like Sharp
I think
either.
he's. The
There was
number
one
escapes
run
me,
he
but
did
it's
on
like
Friday night where
36.
he was just looked like he was just jogging. I
No,
can't
he's
remember
so
which
good.
Carlton player was chasing
So
through the middle.
He's
Gosh.
had Sharp's had 18. That's top 10.
Yeah.
I think Warner's doubled it.
And Warner's better than Goulden at the moment, by the way,
Yeah.
by space.
Yeah. Different players,
But
but
by
yeah,
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's red
I
hot.
just can't say anything bad about Errol. Really hurts me.
Port Adelaide. Now, Rhino, I
Yeah.
was listening a few weeks ago, and you had a very strong brag about Port Adelaide and tipping and form guide. You said Port Adelaide's the one team I know exactly what I'm going to get.
Yeah. And they won, didn't they?
They won, didn't they?
Since you've done that, they lost the showdown where they were
Yeah,
favourites. They
yeah.
went to Geelong when they were rank outsiders
Yeah,
and
they
got the
did.
win.
They
And then
did.
they were within a whatever you want to analogy you want to
Oh,
use.
if the
of getting done
timekeeper,
by
if the
Hawthorn.
home ground timekeeper didn't stuff it, we would have won.
Tell you what. Yeah, interesting. Geez, they got out of jail,
out
didn't they?
of jail.
That is, do you know how
My
like you watch so
goodness.
much footy and they do the whole Lee Matthews thing? Oh, 3 minutes, 3 goals,
yeah.
everything's still possible. Oh, there's still a 45 if everything goes right.
Yeah.
That never happens.
No, I can't stand when
never
it's
happens.
5 minutes. Of 5 goals, Lee Matthews, like, no.
That's
Yeah.
not going to
Like,
happen.
if it's 2
this game's
goals, 2
done.
minutes is the one.
Is
That's
the one.
it.
And this one was 2 goals in, 40
24
seconds?
24
Yeah.
seconds. I
It
think.
was
Yeah.
insane. And the thing that gets lost in the Darcy Byrne-Jones finish, which was brilliant,
Rioli?
Rioli's just calmly gone
Yeah,
back and
yeah.
slotted it from outside 50.
Not sure I
they're-
thought he still had that range left in him.
It's remarkable,
Yeah.
isn't it?
But they're the easy ones, aren't they? Not the easier.
Right.
Nothing right. If he misses it, you're not going to win. You're not likely going to win.
It's not in your head for 10,
You
10
literally have
35
3
seconds.
seconds to
Just
turn
kick it.
around and
Just
kick
kick
it
it.
off 4 steps.
Yeah.
Bang. Fantastic finish. Well done to
Sure.
Zach Butters.
That last quarter off the charts.
Yeah.
My God.
Absolutely off
And he'd
the
had a
charts.
relatively quiet
Oh,
game
yeah,
up
he
until
had a
then.
pull
Yeah, yeah.
And then he's come out, and it was. You can see the numbers. He got 16 disposals. He's had a lot of, but it was almost every single one of them was like contested, tearing it
Impactful.
out of a
Yeah.
contest and getting it out to the runners
Like
on
the
the
wet
outside.
weather helped him.
And mate, that game, I was like, this guy he's a top 10 player. He just is. Like, I heard David King and Lee Montagna, they talk about winning players and how the guys can just go up a notch. Like,
They haven't won
'cause
anything, Port.
No,
No.
but like in those moments where there's a game to be won,
What's Zach Butters won?
Zach Butters goes up a level.
Yeah, I agree with
He
that.
goes up a level.
I do agree with that. I mean, he hasn't won anything.
I don't
but-
think they meant it in that
Okay,
context.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I do agree.
Yeah.
Is it back to sorry? Right, let's go to the Gold Coast Suns. Noah Anderson had 42 disposals, kicked a couple of hot dogs. I've got him down as 12 Brownlow votes. Polled 22 last
Polled
year.
surprisingly well last
in
year.
a pretty quiet
Definite
season.
3 for
The
Thursday
only-
night.
Yeah, the only problem is there's no middle games for him where it's like, oh, Struth, he might poll. It's when they've won.
But is it there?
that's
'Cause
okay.
isn't that
No,
what
no,
happened
no,
last
good.
year? Isn't that what happened last year when he?
No, like not even like 20, like 16 disposals and stuff.
Yeah,
where it's not even. Not
So
even
just
in the
those
question.
surprise games where like, oh, Lachie Neale got one vote.
Yeah,
here, even though he
correct.
only
There's
had
no
22.
there's no
touches,
24s in
5
there.
tackles.
There's none of that.
I hear.
But there's
I
4
hear.
clear out and out best on grounds.
Sure.
So that's 12. I think Heaney's off and racing at the moment, but that needs to pop or stop or be
Yeah.
tagged or even just opposition coach identifying good form. But be very careful of Noah Anderson. But if he won the Brownlow on the Gold Coast, is that by far the best thing that's happened on the Gold Coast for footy?
Well, Ablett won one there, didn't he?
Did he do his shoulder?
Didn't he win a Brownlow up
Did he get
there?
it there? Did he?
I could have sworn he did.
Yeah, he got one of them up
So
there.
then
Yeah.
he was favourite to win the other one and did his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Noah Anderson, would you reckon he'd be recognised in Victoria walking the streets?
No.
Probably not.
Probably not, hey?
No,
Anyway,
probably not.
let's say just quickly to the Suns.
You've been harsh on the Suns.
Well, this is who they've beaten, okay?
Oh, here we go. He's going to kill him.
No, let's start with Adelaide, who were 13th. Then they've beaten 15th Hawthorn. Then they've beaten 16th West Coast. Then they've beaten 17th Richmond. And guess who else they beat? 18th North Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's why I'm a bit unsure of the Gold
Okay.
Coast. They
Well, you can only
Geelong.
beat who
They-
you're up
say they
against.
beat
They
Geelong. Where's Geelong?
They beat Geelong.
It was Geelong.
But that's why I'm still cloudy about
How's
the Gold
how's the
Coast
Jack
Suns.
Lukosius, which is the form line,
Darwin specialist.
up in the NT?
I tell you what, if
Unreal.
there is a team up there, he's priority number
throwing
one.
that
And I
absolute-
reckon he'd go up there too. Be like, I'm kicking 5 every week up here.
But we spoke
How
about what
good's
he's
this?
worth, Lukosius, last week on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
First round. Or
Yeah,
what?
that's true.
Sure enough.
No,
Bang.
he's a stud. He's a stud. Is it me again?
It is.
Okay, let's go.
It's, Robbo's thrown us out with the sway early from
The
himself.
early sway, yeah.
I was trying to give you credit for your great story.
No, no,
Jeez, I
you
won't
did-
do it next
no,
time.
I liked it.
Unbelievable.
He's checked out. He's in
liked it.
Barbados
Goodness
already.
gracious. Yeah, what time does this flight go?
In Melbourne, wow, that was something. I mean, I think over here it's easy to get carried away with the West Coast performance and Harley and all the shows and
Yeah.
everything. By the way, no, we'll get to that in West Coast. So Max Gawn, I think we all came in thought, geez, he could tear Bailey Williams
Yeah.
a new one. The work that West Coast put in on Max
the
Gawn
ground.
around
It's really
the
smart,
ground,
wasn't it? Yep.
not just Bailey, but all of the players putting body on him. The Oliver tag from Sheed was pretty good.
Pretty good. Clary had 7 touches
Yeah.
at half time.
That's good coaching. That's actually really good.
Well,
Couple of things that were done very
Yeah,
well
I
there.
think Sumo's coaching okay.
Yeah, Jake Lever out 3
Yeah, don't
weeks.
sleep on Lever, how big that was.
Massive.
Because that
But
was
they'd
first
started.
few minutes.
Yeah, I get it, but they'd still started shit.
Yeah,
Like-
they had. But that changes so much with what May can do.
Yeah.
And like
It
that
does.
really threw him, I reckon.
That's a significant out. But I think that's the thing. In the past, Melbourne would have been like, nah, we don't need to bring all these guys. We'll probably just come over here
Correct.
and win anyway.
Win and
so
go.
now you lose Lever, and it's like, oh, now they might lose. And it's like, yeah, that's where West Coast are at now. You can't take him as an easy beat. Ben Brown, 0 influence on the game. Shane McAdam, I'll give him a pass because it was his first game back. But what was that shot? He was 40 metres out. He didn't make the
Yeah,
distance.
he
It was
probably
bizarre.
could have kicked 3, dropped a mark.
Yeah.
Kicked 1.
I think he's going to
He'd
be,
be
good
better for the run.
I
Yeah.
like him. I think he makes things happen.
Can I just make one point
Yeah,
on
go.
Melbourne?
Yeah.
Before the game, they said, Petrarca played 4. I was like, you cannot start him forward. He only went forward last week and kicked 5.
'Cause he was playing awful.
Because he was
Slow
getting
start.
tagged and was
Yeah.
playing awful.
Yeah.
And he went and he kicked 5, which is great because he's a superstar.
Yeah.
But they started him forward, had no momentum in the midfield. The only time they got momentum in the midfield was when Petty was in the ruck. Go through and look.
Yeah.
The goals they got from stoppage centre bounce was
Petty's.
Petty in the midfield, not Max.
How do you reckon Petrarca was feeling when Harley was running away from him?
Oh.
He's going, what is happening? And then he fends him off. He's going, how old am I?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
reckon Petrarca,
The
this is the first time he's
disrespect.
ever felt old.
But he started forward and then came to the bench before midfield. So he's like 12, 13 minutes gone,
Yeah.
and he still hasn't introduced himself to the Sharon.
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, true. St Kilda, so
I'm sorry, a bit in the throat there.
I'm tempted to bullet these ones. Can I just go through the coaches' votes for this game? I don't
This
think you guys
shocks
saw
me.
them.
If you
No,
don't
no.
bullet this, you're a hero.
No. The coaches'
This is
votes.
the- so this is the coaches' votes,
Hey,
right?
did you watch the game,
What
Ryan?
game
I did
was
just
I
watch-
watching?
I did.
All right,
Yes,
go
I did.
fire your coaches' votes
What
first.
game was I
I would have
watching
had Luke
here?
Jackson number 1.
Yeah.
I would have had Sarong up there as well. Would have had Jordan Clark pretty high up.
Both teams, they played.
Oh, both teams. Well, Rowan Marshall, obviously. Was
Rowan
very, very
Marshall
good.
was-
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
this
So
is
I
how
went
it landed.
Marshall, Jackson,
I thought Marshall shaded
Sarong.
and
Jackson,
then just
even though
throw
they were
him,
both
throw him
very
in there
good.
after that.
Yes.
There's a 1-2 fight.
Sarong 9, Jackson 6.
Oh,
Sure.
whoa.
Yeah.
Hayden Young 5, Jordan Clark 3, Andy Brayshaw 3. Marshall got 2 votes.
Absolutely
So
bulled up.
what game was I watching?
How pissed off is Ross? Because I haven't done the math. Because some people can work out who gives who
can.
votes, right? You're probably one of those people,
Yeah.
right? I wonder if he's just gone, I'm not giving anyone.
Well, I'll give you
No
the
one's
e-
getting anything from me, and then JL's maybe gone, I'll give 2.
He's
to-
got
I'll
the
give you-
only combo that works here. He's got
1-1 or 2?
No, it's 2 from one coach.
I
and
reckon
0 from the other.
Ross has given his players 0 'cause
I agree.
he's that angry.
I agree. It can't be 1 and 1 just with the way that the numbers fall. It has to be 2 from one coach and 0 from another.
I wrote in my column today, not very often is a ruckman best on ground, let alone 2.
Yeah,
It was a battle between 2 rucks.
It was fantastic.
It was great. It was clearly they were clearly best. And don't get me wrong, I've backed Sarong for the Brownlow, so I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But on
He'll be up
Brownlow
there.
night, he won't get the votes. Sarong won't get them.
So how did Jackson's work? Would he have got 3-3 or 5-1 or how does that?
He's
5-1?
6, so he would have got. Let's think about this.
I'm just guessing a 5-1. I'm going
Might have been
JL
5-1,
5.
Yeah, Ross has given him 1.
1.
You reckon?
Yeah, it might have been 5-1. Yeah.
Yeah, like Ross going, the ruckman did nothing all night.
Do you know who loves coaches' votes? Barra.
No, I love him
When
too.
they come
Always
out,
retweets them.
He retweets them.
Always
He's obsessed with coaches' votes. And like I always ask why. He goes, it's the most accurate view,
Yeah,
isn't
except when it's Ross.
Yeah.
So just quickly
He
before we
loves
move
it.
on from St Kilda,
Shout out to Barra.
they play Melbourne this week. They come west to play West Coast the week after that. Who starts favouring that game right now? St Kilda or West Coast at Optus?
I mean, is it West Coast?
Oh, you'd be close.
If
I
Yo's-
think that's a coin flip game
If
right
Yo's
now.
back and playing okay,
I think that's a genuine coin flip.
Jeez, they're going really
Yeah,
bad.
it's going to be
St
very
Kilda.
They
interesting.
are.
Really
but
bad.
it wouldn't surprise you they came over and won and then were non-competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course,
great.
Yeah. GWS. Oh, is it you? We'll get to GWS in a
So
moment.
off the back of, and now this is
Stay tuned, Giants fans.
this is
Sit on the edge of your seats.
this is completely random. Tough with Brisbane because they obviously made light work of Richmond.
Yes.
But Chris Fagan post-match said, I feel sorry for Ooze, Adam
Yeah.
Ooze.
Sure.
I reckon Fags was
He's
at
been there.
Hawthorn when Ooze was at Hawthorn as well. I reckon
Right.
they might have had a bit of overlap. Well, I'm certain, actually, it would have been. And then I thought, how bad were Brisbane? And I just randomly this morning...
Pretty
Dog
bad.
off.
No, so I randomly go, right, I'm just going to pick 2016, so my last year. From the top of my head, I thought, they were pretty shit then, I reckon. And I clicked on a random round to see how Brisbane went in 2016, to see whether Fagan had really seen how Adam Uze was going. Round 20, 2016, they played Adelaide. The scoreline was 177 to 39.
Oh.
So they got piped, and then I went, all right, I'll have a look at the week earlier, round 19, and it was 79 to 173. I was like, Chris Fagan does know what it feels like to be coaching
He
a team
knows.
that's no good.
And that was the period where they were losing players.
Losing players left, right, and centre. A little bit earlier.
Including Elliot Yo.
Earlier.
Yeah, that was the result of all the losing
So,
players.
the result of, I reckon they lost him in 13, end of 13, 14.
yeah.
But Brisbane at the moment, they've done that to, of course, Richmond. Are you starting to think?
Well, they've got so much talent. They're going to win games of footy when the teams are coming
I
up
still
against
think
the
they
Busters.
can't win the flag.
Hey, Kyle Oman, though, I do like him.
Oh, yeah.
I think they need to put some time and effort in. I know when Rising Star this week kicked 5s, it's easy to say. But I think we've always liked that kid.
Yeah.
Have we missed this one, though? Because he got the Rising Star before we've really...
No.
I don't think
you
we
can't
can claim
that.
him. We can't claim Kyle
you
Oman.
can't. I mean,
It's a shame.
I've been surfing
Sorry,
with him,
Kyle.
but no, you can't claim him.
Have you really?
No. I've been surfing with him.
Not even... Oh. Gee,
Wouldn't surprise you though if I was like, one day off somewhere we were surfing randomly.
you would have been sitting on the beach with a six-pack.
Yeah,
He would have been
drinking
surfing. GWS lost 4 of their last 5
it's a
games.
worry. It's a
I
worry.
reckon 5 weeks ago we were declaring them premiers. It can slip pretty quickly. Their next 4, Geelong, Hawthorn, Port Adelaide, Sydney.
2 and 2.
Yeah, that's a tough... It's not an easy
2 and 2
draw.
through there, yeah.
I had to think about this, and we're not supposed to say this, and this is my first I'm not supposed to say this of the podcast. Robert, you know the other one that's coming up later. You're not supposed to talk about Toby Green not playing well, but I know he was okay on the weekend, he kicked 3. But he is not having a great
They
season.
kicked 6 and Hogan kicked the other 3.
He's not having a great year.
So let me ask you this, because I crunched some numbers on Toby Green. Just let me find them in my...
Well, while you do that, they
Supercomputer.
interviewed a Giants player the other day when they were on top of the world.
Yep.
And it's like, it's great. We're doing this without our captain having to contribute everything,
Yeah.
you know. So they were highlighting he wasn't travelling as
Even
well
they knew that he
before
wasn't going
they
that
even
well.
started losing.
So this is massaging numbers a tiny bit.
Massage.
We love that.
But games
Beat your
with
bar, beat,
Toby
mate.
Green,
Indeed.
Toby Green games with multiple goals and 18+ touches. How many do you reckon he had last year? 18+ touches and multiple
How many
goals.
games did he play?
24.
Played 24. I'd say he probably had 20 of them.
21.
13.
Okay.
Oh,
Still takes some doing.
Good try, good try, mate.
Still takes some
Yeah.
doing. How many of those do you reckon he's had this year?
Has he had any?
0. Yeah.
Wow.
Donut. 0. 13 last year, 0 this year.
He kicked 66 last year.
Yeah.
He's kicked
Yeah.
Was
No,
he
he's
this year?
definitely off.
14 in
Definitely off
9
the pace.
games.
Yeah, no, he's struggling away. It's the kid. It's the newborn kid.
Oh, it
Not
is.
sleeping.
That's so true.
Having said that,
We've
they
all
have
been
had
there.
they have had a
We've
bit of
all
a
been there.
dis. We've all been
Some
there.
of us are still there.
Josh is about to go there. Oh no, you're going back for the second
going
time. He's
back.
been
Oh,
there too.
producer Josh.
And I'm
Shout
going back
out.
for thirds after the snip.
Yeah, it's a concern. We'll see. He's good enough to turn it around, but
Oh,
it is
absolutely.
It is
yeah.
a flag.
Yeah. West Coast is me.
Wow.
Probably enough spoken about Harley Reid for now, other than the point that
10 coaches votes.
10 coaches votes. He's also getting to that point where, for me anyway, he's like that Steph Curry level where you just find yourself just like laughing a couple of times a game. We're just like, okay.
I was laughing the other day. I was in the office watching it, and I was actually like, "This is
Yeah.
stupid."
It was Bill.
You just have to laugh out loud.
He's
'cause it's
taking
like,
the
what?
piss.
It was Bill Simmons when early in Steph's career when he was a little bit quiet at times and then would go absolutely bananas. How he coined him the Golden State with the league pass side.
Everyone starts sending
pass
texts.
saints.
Yeah, everyone Steph's
Yeah.
warming up and you get league pass on to have a
Because
little.
I reckon that's what happens with Harley too. I was saying this to someone the other day. He seems to do it in these little 5-minute patches where he'll kick an amazing goal and then fend off a couple of blokes
Yeah.
and then set up another goal.
Yeah.
And after that 5 minutes, he'll go quiet for a bit and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, so he's appointment viewing. Like, I don't think this is just going to be a West Coast thing. I think
No.
Oh, totally.
There's more
yeah.
eyes on
Yeah.
West Coast this year
Yeah.
than previous couple of
Oh,
years, purely because Harley Reid's playing. That's
even
the sole
even
reason
the
why.
staunchest West Coast
Yeah.
supporters would have struggled to watch
But
him in the last 2
no,
years.
but I mean around the country.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, neutrals are even watching Harley Reid.
It's
100%.
remarkable.
Ruben Jinby, shout out to him. So
Outstanding.
The two
Yeah.
previous games to this one, in terms of centre bounce attendances, 38% and 33%.
Wow, big
At
jump.
the weekend, he was 83%.
Big jump. Yeah, nice.
You'd like to see that number stay somewhere.
Well, I don't think he does anything
in that
else
kind
around
of
the
range.
ground.
Yeah,
Like
well,
he
that's-
needs to be in and around
Yeah,
it
just
to
give him that exposure.
get him
in
off
there,
the
right?
wing.
Just give him the keys in there and just let him keep cooking.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you throw Yo back in, you've got 4.
That's gonna dip
They're
a
the
little,
4
yep,
guys.
yep.
So it's Harley, it's Yo, it's
Kelly.
Kelly, and it's who did we just talk about?
Jinby.
So they're the 4 guys. There
Yeah.
shouldn't really be any space for anyone else. So Sheed's
Well,
now tagger.
getting pushed out of there.
Dommy's tagging. I
If
don't
he's
mind
tagging, it's
sacrificing.
okay. But then, you haven't got much space.
Before we do get buzzed, I'm going to make, and I made it clear in the call the other day, Jake Waterman, bar none in the competition, is the best forward right now in the entire
He is.
competition.
Totally, yeah.
Jeremy Cameron included, all those
Charlie
forwards,
Curnow included.
all of them included. I
Yep.
don't care. Waterman is the best forward and has been for 6 or 7 weeks.
It's remarkable.
Everyone included.
I'm happy for him.
Marking
He's a good
everything.
bloke.
He wasn't overly happy about returning against Melbourne. It's like, Lever and bloody
May and
Anyway,
McDonald and
he
Petty and-
ripped them a big hole. I can tell you that much.
Didn't worry about that.
Rhino, your team, Essendon Football Club.
Hold on. Let me read. Let me read out a tweet that was directed at me earlier today, and it's from our man Kevin. Kev's Kickers.
Yeah, nice.
A massive Bombers supporter, and he gives us strong feedback. Looking forward to the pod dropping. Can only imagine Rhino pivots over to how good it will be to see Essendon finish top 4 so they can lose 2 finals instead of 1.
That's not a bad one.
Is that Kevin Sheedy?
Yeah.
Can we rule that out?
Just quickly, Dream Time at the G. It's not going to be a good game.
No.
I think.
Gosh.
But how good is the Indigenous round been?
Fantastic.
And they do it no better than the MCG on Saturday night, so I'll be tuning to that. Since round 5, this is incredible by Essendon. They beat North by 40. They beat Giants by 20. They beat Eagles over here by 6, which currently the form line isn't too bad. Like playing at where they drew with
Alexis, yep.
Collingwood, who are the informed side of the competition, other than Essendon. They beat Adelaide by 3, and then they rolled the Dogs by 29.
Yeah.
Now that is a bloody good 6-week stint.
It's a good
Undefeated
stretch.
6
They're
weeks.
going really well, and then they come up against Richmond, so you can't see them losing
7.
this.
So have you slightly warmed, or you still just right off?
I
them?
think last week I said it's pretty obvious now they're a professional unit with a lot of good level players that they're not going to really slip up. I still don't know about their ceiling, and I keep.
Well, the ceiling can't get much higher
I
than
know,
second.
I know, it's absurd.
And Ben Mackay is one of the best key defenders in the game. And
Huge pickup.
and
Huge
certainly
pickup.
would be in the All-Australian conversation.
And I don't think any of the noise last year about Ben Mackay was about Ben Mackay. It was about the compensation pick.
Yeah. No.
If Ben
But
Mackay had
right
just
now-
gone, and
but if
there'd
his
be no-
name wasn't
no-
Ben Mackay, if his name was, I don't know, James Sicily or someone like that, no one would say anything about pick 3. And he's playing at a level better than any other defender. So pick
he's
3 is
been
warranted.
excellent. Yeah, he's been excellent.
And just really quickly, the tag Liam Shields on Zach Merritt was a
very good.
Effective.
didn't do any centre bounce work really. Came in off the top of the square,
It kept the
grabbed
game
him from
close.
there, and he kept into. He would have had 12 or 13 touches on Shields. The rest would have been around CBAs where he couldn't get in there quick enough.
tough
So
ones,
that was interesting.
No,
the
hats off
old
to the Bombers,
the old
and-
merit tag.
They're coming. I can't see them missing the 8 from here.
Oh,
What could go wrong?
I would
You're
say
such
it's
a prick.
I would
What could
say
go wrong?
almost
You are-
impossible.
Sorry, Essendon fans. He can't help himself.
Well, if you think Essendon fans are going to be annoyed, wait till we do this one. Is it me?
Yeah.
North Melbourne. Okay. Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Deep breath
here.
time.
All right.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm listening. I'm all ears.
If you were an account, let's say the AFL said, right, we're gonna scrap this whole we're a sports league thing, and we're gonna bring in a CEO who's never watched a game of footy.
Yeah.
And he's an accountant.
Business
You know
decisions.
when companies get someone in and the accountant takes over and everyone goes, we're going to have job cuts, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now imagine if this accountant came in and he took over the AFL and he was presented with everything on paper.
Right.
Would he not just slice North Melbourne and a couple other clubs, but particularly just completely out? Would he not just go, this doesn't make any sense from a financial perspective that we are propping up this team and they are delivering nothing? Then I will ask you this. The second part of it is, if you were coming in cold, let's say you brought in some American fan who'd never watched that.
Yeah.
So this is our league, and you started explaining things. You go, right, we've got 10 teams in this one little bit, and then we've got these other teams all around here.
Yeah.
And we're thinking about expanding. We don't know where to go. And they go, what are you expanding for? Why don't you just chop a couple of these teams in here? Why do you have so many in the same spot? Because a lot of the issues that we have about equality and fixturing and all that is because we have so many teams in the same spot.
Yeah.
The obvious answer that no one wants to talk about is doing something with that North Melbourne team, whether it be giving them to Tassie, whether it be folding them with St Kilda, whether it be doing something
So-
else. I know we're not supposed to talk about it, and I'm a footy romantic. I would love all the clubs to stay, but this is... What are we doing here?
Well,
they have
what did you
been so
expect from
bad
them?
for so long.
Mate, so they played in prelims, in 2015-16.
10 years ago.
Yeah, so how many finals the Gold Coast played in? They haven't won 10 games in a year.
Gold Coast are an expansion club still.
Oh, so how long do you get to expand for?
I don't. What, do you want to get rid of them too?
No, but
I'm open to
I'm
it.
just saying, if we're ragging teams out,
Let's cut them all.
mate,
Rhino's just chopping every...
it's Collingwood, Essendon every weekend.
Yeah, let's
Pick
just get
one.
rid of them all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Mate, the GWS Giants get 3 people to their games. How's that expansion going?
my point is, get it together on the field. Get it
But they
together
can't get it,
financially.
they can't
So
get
then
it
what are we
together in
doing?
8 seconds.
So what about 5 years?
Yeah,
what about
okay.
6 years?
Yeah,
How many picks?
I didn't expect this year, so it's been no
Look
good.
at it.
but-
He's so in the tent on North Melbourne, isn't he?
Were you playing in that 2015 prelim?
Yeah,
You played in that 2015?
He gives me shit. And
Because they
anytime,
jumped to you guys, right?
Yeah,
they
we didn't
started
kick
really
goal
well over
till
here.
halfway through the second or something. JK.
Robbo,
Yeah.
anytime you say anything negative about North, this guy, he just...
He's a romantic.
Titans,
Yeah,
right?
I
No,
like
it's
North.
That's why he
not
wants a
about-
third kid. He's a
It's not
romantic.
about that.
Do you like North as a club? Forget the.
You know,
performances.
none of this is on Mickey B. Mickey B just got there. He'll get his time.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll get his
Well,
time.
Clarko's only been there for 3 minutes.
2 years?
Well, last year was a
Little bit longer than 3 minutes.
interrupted.
That's
All
okay.
right, look,
Just
just be better.
another club that you love, Zave, Geelong. What's our level of concern here? Because
Through the absolute roof, up the wazoo.
so third
Concept.
straight loss, highest score they've conceded since the opening round of 1994,
Yeah.
if you don't mind. Obviously, there's some mitigating factors here. So Tom Stewart wasn't really Tom Stewart. They're missing Danger. They were missing Cameron. They were missing Hawkins. Duncan. Cam Guthrie's still obviously
De Koning.
working his way back to full
This is
fitness.
but this is all stuff that happens when you have
when
old
you're
players.
old, exactly, Brino.
None of this is a surprise.
Exactly. So there's two ways to look at this. You can give him a wipe and just go, hey, we didn't take half the older guys up there
We
anyway,
took a knee.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
They basically
Yeah.
forfeited that game.
Or is this a bit of a sign of you're just starting to be concerned about the state of this
So who'd
list?
they get rolled by? They got rolled by Port Adelaide in
This is my smug face, by
in
the
a
way.
thriller in the end,
And Melbourne the week
in a
before.
thriller as double
And
thriller.
that was also close. Yeah.
So they probably could have pinched one of them, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden I'm wiping that smug face off. But no, I have zero concern.
Zero.
Geelong Giants
Zero.
this week is huge.
Our
Whoever
bet was-
loses,
was
whoever
our bet-
loses Geelong Giants this week,
Trouble.
in
Was our-
a bit of trouble.
Was our bet finals?
Your finals.
Jeez, it's tight.
And I have top 12 on. No, it was top 12.
There's like
with-
13.
top 12
it's
with
not with
Selby.
me. There's
Top
like
12,
13 teams really tight. And that's
Top 12.
No. That was, mate, De Koning pulled out as well. They were 5 of their best 10 players not playing. Let's just chill out.
Nah, it's just saying it's nice to be back in the conversation because I was a bit worried.
what are they?
What are they, 6-0 or something?
They're
7.
7-3.
Mate, they're
So
7-3.
they were 7-0 though.
Yeah,
so-
Yeah.
but they're 7-3. They've still got a handful. They've still got to play West Coast.
Well, this
they've
might
still
be-
got to play North. They've
This
still
might
got to
be my
play
best moment, so just let me
They've
have
still got
it.
to play Richmond. Mate, before you know it, they're chalking up a couple along the way. I'm home. Thank you. They're very concerned, Robbo. Very, very concerned.
Going to be tight.
I just like to do a finish on Carlton. They were pox on the weekend despite a quick start. I reckon identified again. I mean, Horse is just out there at the moment, just identifying what everyone should do to opposition clubs.
He is taking everything
and guess
apart.
what?
And sending James Jordan to them. Yeah.
And they're not. And other clubs aren't choosing to follow suit. But if you want to, here's the blueprint on how to beat these teams. So James Jordan just went and got Walsh. Sam Walsh just not effective.
Yep.
And then you go, well, is Patrick Cripps going to beat you? Nice player.
So what's he done? Jordan Clark, Lockie Whitfield,
And
Sam Walsh.
Sam Walsh, 3 from 3.
Back to back.
I just did a little weekend audit on tags as well. Pup Shields got Zach Merritt. And Dom Sheed.
Dom
Sheed got Clary Oliver.
Yep.
President of the tag.
2 out of 3 of them
I'm with you, mate.
2 out of 3 of them were
with you.
pretty effective, and the other one was Pup on Essendon, who they were never going to win.
Okay, from a pure football perspective, as someone who's played the game, why don't they tag?
Because coaches, they couldn't record in this studio because their heads are that big, their egos. Because they say the other teams can dictate exactly. So, for example, the 2013 grand final, where Crowley went to Mitchell, and this is 10 years early, where it's a bit like there's no real forward planning on what to do. So Mitchell just then went and stood on Fife or Mundy at the stoppage. So all of a sudden, Hawthorn just had a spare there the whole time in all those stoppages because Mitchell just would go stand on one. Crowley was right up Mitch's ass, and all of a sudden...
Which meant that somebody else was...
There's Hawthorn players just running around by themselves,
Right.
which is how you can dictate what you do with a tagger. And that's why they always say quickly go grab someone, and then it's a 2v1. You've eliminated one of theirs, and the other one's following you.
Right.
But times have changed a little bit. I mean, teams are just too scared to try and do it. Like, Melbourne on the weekend had 0 spark in their game. Clayton Oliver had 27 in the end, or 28. I was shocked by that. Unsighted.
A lot of it was late.
Sam Walsh is their game winner, their barometer. Like, the ball's not... It kicked a goal, I saw that. But, like, Harry's only kicked 2 in the last 2 weeks. Charlie's only kicked 3 in the last 2 weeks. I think it was 4. So, like... Without that spark, the forwards aren't getting the entries, they aren't getting the excitement, they aren't getting the run and dash, the game's not getting the overlap and all that sort of stuff. I just think the blueprint's there now. I'm stamping Sam Walsh, and guess what? If Newman and Cripps and Hewitt and those guys want to beat us,
Yeah, you tip your cap.
tip my hat. But
absolutely.
it's unlikely going to happen.
Bring back the tag. I don't hate it. The Western Bulldogs. Jeez, extension time for Bevo. Are we thinking?
So you've hated the doggies, and I'm a doggy man. I haven't jumped ship. I've been riding this boat until it goes down, and guess what? I'm in Barbados, baby.
With Robbo. I haven't hated the Dogs. I thought they've underperformed, which I think is fair to say. Bontempelli, tagged, 18 touches. I thought, when is the last time they won a game with Bont getting 18 or less? Mustn't happen too often. It's happened 3 of the last 4 times.
He hasn't had a great year, Bont.
Yeah, they're actually doing okay when Bont gets tagged out. But other blokes
That's a good
step
sign.
up.
That's a good sign.
That is a good sign. Good to see Aaron Norton is turning the corner on his form. I think that's been a big reason for them turning it around because he was pretty much non-existent to start.
So I got some Aaron Norton gear for you here.
Yeah.
So over the last 4 weeks, not including the weekend because it was wet and it's still pretty good. Aaron Norton, round 6 to 9, most goals, most score assists, most scoreboard impact points, kicking efficiency at 87.5% accuracy-wise because everyone criticises his goal kicking and stuff, and all whilst being ranked 13 for inside 50.
Is this in the AFL?
AFL.
What?
Jake Waterman says hello.
AFL.
Oh, Jake Waterman missed one of them. Okay.
That's incredible.
So Norton's kicked. So Waterman kicked 18 goals in that patch, and Norton had kicked 16 or something in that.
That's
right.
Geez, that's snuck up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So there's some stats on Norton. You
good.
didn't know you were going to get
Good.
today.
Very nice. Where did you get those? Why did you have those ready?
Just had them ready to go.
What's going on here?
I thought Norton was in good.
Are you
good
doing
touch.
some? You doing some? Who's the Western Bulldogs playing this week? Is he doing some scouting or something?
I just thought Norton's had a very,
going
very
on?
good season and a very, very good patch.
He's betting on it.
I don't know. He's up to something.
There's something
Have a
going on.
look at him.
Corrupt. He's on the park.
You're not just
scheming
sitting around like crunching numbers in your spare time.
Sydney Swans is me.
Is that the last team?
No, I started.
Oh, I've got one left too. Yep.
Zaves, do you have one left?
We
somewhere?
haven't used the bullet
No,
yet.
I'm done.
Nah, you've still got
Oh,
something.
no, yeah, I'm done.
You got
Hey?
a bullet?
Oh, you're going to pull it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
Who are you
All right.
bulleting?
Let me do Sydney and then we'll
know.
figure it out.
Okay.
So, Sydney, these are the midfielders who attended the most centre bounces on Friday night, right? Haney, Warner, Rowbottom, Adams, and Papley. Heaney kicked 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Warner kicked 3 and had 3 goal assists as well. Rowbottom kicked 1. Adams kicked it behind, and Papley kicked 2 goals, 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you're getting that kind of scoreboard production
What's that,
from
9 goals?
your
Is
midfield,
that 9?
3, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Jeez.
shut it down. No one's beating you. If you're getting
Wow.
9 goals out of your best 5 mids, that's unreal.
And that's where the argument about Luke Parker comes in, who's obviously a very good player.
Yeah.
But we're getting what we want out of our midfielders at the moment, and there's point A of what they're getting at the moment.
right now.
What's he going to get for that? Was it 4 weeks, 5 weeks?
5.
The VFL Tribunal.
When's that out?
I think today.
So, yeah,
So they sent him
today.
straight to the tribunal, which means they wanted a lot for it.
Do we feel as though at AFL level, maybe the person who was running would have a bit more awareness that someone might be blocking?
Probably. Yep.
Yeah,
Probably.
I just looked at it, and hopefully the guy who's had the facial fractures and whatnot, he'll miss a large patch, and you get what you get.
Yeah.
Luke
I
Parker.
can't see Parker playing within a month.
Is he
Yeah, I
going to,
think
when he is fit though, is this going to be
Well,
like,
he
remember,
is fit, he's just not
sorry,
selected.
when he's available.
Yeah.
Remember when Josh Kennedy was in his last sort of days at Sydney, and they
Sydney,
brought him
yeah.
as the sub, sort
Maybe.
of finishing up? Is that
Oh,
what we're looking at
The
here?
other
Luke
one
Parker?
is Daniel Rich last year at
Yep.
Brisbane.
Yep.
It's like suddenly he just couldn't get in the team.
I think Luke Parker's got another trick.
Yeah,
where
I
he
think
can go
Parker's still a
forward.
bit there.
I think Luke Parker, all he really needs, and he might start as sub, just that early injury, and then he comes on in and has
And reminds
28
everyone.
touches. Everyone's like, oh, shit, okay.
It's
This is-
also
this is
like
what Luke Parker
having
is. Luke
Luke-
Parker is not as old as what you think.
But
either.
also having Luke Parker there, not getting in the team, but being ready to come into the team,
Yeah.
is so
It's keeping
valuable
everyone
for
sharp.
everyone in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because everyone's going, I can't have a bad game because I'm out. So I'm locking in.
Well, Wet Mills is still coming too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But on grand final day, and it sounds like I'd rather Luke
You
Parker
want
there
Parker
than
out there.
Of course.
someone else. But-
Yeah.
Hawthorn Football Club.
Here it comes. Here it
I can't
comes.
move them on.
Oh, they played so well.
Are you choking right now?
Till
Is
that
that what's
last
happening?
like 2 minutes. He's choking on something.
All of a sudden, just in the last 30
I was
seconds, he
so-
started choking.
I was
What's going on here?
I was just talking so much shit to everyone. And then I just couldn't talk to anyone. I could not leave the commentary box.
That's remarkable, isn't it?
All right, last
Will
team.
Day.
Righto.
Okay, so my last team is Collingwood, who are suddenly fifth.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
They're rocking.
Just fifth.
Yeah.
7-3-1. That poor start is in the rearview mirror.
They know how to win a close game.
They can't be 7-3-1, can they? Because that's 11 games.
6-3-1.
6-3-1, I think.
6-3-1. Is that right?
Sounds
Yeah,
about
that
right.
sounds right. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to John Noble.
Yeah.
Who missed
Going well.
out on the grand final last
100th
year.
game on the weekend.
100th game on the
Yeah.
weekend, and he's played really well this year. His numbers aren't off the charts, 21 touches, 4 rebound 50s. But it's
But
just
that is for John Noble.
it is very
Yeah.
good numbers for John, but he's also just like he's got on with it. Right? A lot of times, if you miss out in a grand final,
No, there's nothing worse.
Yeah,
it
could
rips
sink
your
you.
heart.
Could sink
Nothing worse.
but he's come back
in your
with a
football
bounce
life.
in his step. No Jordan De Goey this week for Collingwood.
Yeah, which is a shame because I like Collingwood. I just love the way they play. And Jordan De Goey returned with a bang too.
So if you're Fremantle, we're talking about your tags, no De Goey, what are you doing with Dacos?
Well, Nick Dacos is one of the very, very, very few that 3 weeks in a row have got 10 votes, 10 votes, 10 votes in Coach
Yeah.
Association. I am grabbing him.
with who though?
Hayden Young.
Don't care.
James Aish, Hayden Young.
He's better than every midfielder you've got.
Yeah.
So work backwards from there. I don't care. If Nick Dacos has 35 again and 14 clearances,
Yeah.
because he kicks. I saw the West Coast game. That was the most disappointing thing. Was like, don't get beaten by what you know. Nick Dacos is the best player. They let him run wild. Oh, Nick Dacos getting some clearances. Oh, out of the centre bounce clearance. Oh, a goal straight away.
Yeah.
All right, that's game
uses
over.
it well. Yes. Surprise,
Like,
surprise.
Just don't get beaten by what you know, and that's what you know is when there's no De Goey around those centre bounces. Like Pendles is in good touch, but if Pendles has 35, you go shit, mate. He's an all-time superstar.
Yeah, well done.
But Nick Dacos, you've got to try and stop it. He's now having clearances. He's averaging 10 clearances the last 3 weeks.
All right, so you're sending. Give me a player. Who are you sending?
You can have.
I think it's Young.
I'd
Yeah.
have Brayshaw. Hey Brayshaw. Hey Andy, you've never done this before, but we don't need little marks or we don't need that link. We need to stop this bloke.
Okay. We'll see what happens.
And wouldn't that be a good contest with Andy just scrapping him for the game?
I'm calling the game with him on Friday. He is going to be
gonna
chirping
bang
all
on about
night
that.
every time Dacos touches the footy. If they don't tag
Told
him,
ya.
No, I won't.
I will
Send
not hear
someone
you.
to him.
I won't.
You will.
I'll go home at half time if he's at 20.
All right, this has been the Hardball Gets AFL show. Don't miss the mailbag edition tomorrow. We'll chat to you then.